He laughed in her face, thinking she was just another nobody. Treated her with disdain, ignored her presence, even asked her to leave the store. But what this racist store owner didn't know was who she really was. And when he finally found out, it was far too late. Now he's begging for forgiveness, and here's why. It was a quiet Thursday afternoon in Beverly Hills, the kind of day where luxury cars cruise past palm-lined streets, and the sun makes every designer storefront glisten like gold. Right in the middle of Rodeo Drive sat a high-end boutique, sleek, expensive, and exclusive, the kind of place where the staff scan you from head to toe before even thinking about saying hello. That's where she showed up. Jordan Carter stepped out of her black Tesla, dressed casually but clean, dark jeans, a white linen shirt, a leather crossbody bag, and her curls tied back neatly. No flashy jewelry, no entourage, just her. She glanced at the store window, then walked in. The boutique was nearly empty. Cool air, the scent of expensive perfume, soft jazz playing in the background. Behind the counter stood a tall man in his early 50s, white salt and pepper hair slicked back, wearing a fitted blazer. His name was Richard. He didn't greet her. Instead, Richard gave her a glance, quick, dismissive, and went back to typing something on his iPad. "Hi, good afternoon," Jordan said politely, walking toward the display racks. "Do you have the new Ellis & Cross summer collection? I saw a preview online." Richard didn't look up. "Those pieces are by appointment only." Jordan raised an eyebrow slightly, looking around. "There's no one here." Still typing, he replied flatly, "Yes, well, that's how we work. For certain items." His tone wasn't rude, but it wasn't respectful either. It was the tone of someone who already decided she didn't belong. Jordan smiled faintly, trying to keep it cordial. "Well, I'm here now. Mind if I just take a quick look?" Richard finally looked at her, this time with a kind of practiced smile that didn't reach his eyes. "These pieces are quite expensive. I'm not sure they'd be what you're looking for." There it was. Jordan stood still for a moment, not shocked, not angry, just disappointed. She had seen this before, too many times. Still, she replied with calm confidence, "I'd just like to see the collection, that's all." Richard stepped out from behind the counter. "I'm going to have to ask you not to touch the garments. They're very delicate. Limited edition." Two other customers, an older couple browsing near the back, paused and glanced up. The atmosphere had shifted. Everyone could feel it. Jordan nodded slowly. "I see." She pulled out her phone and made a call, switching effortlessly to a clipped, businesslike tone. "Hey, it's Jordan. Yeah, I'm here. You can bring the crew around. Same place. I'll be done in 10. Richard's ears perked up. "Crew?" he asked, confused. Jordan didn't answer. She walked toward one of the racks, reading the tags but not touching a single item. He watched her with suspicion, growing more uneasy by the second. Then, things changed. About 5 minutes later, a sleek black van pulled up in front of the boutique. A woman in a headset and clipboard came in first, followed by two people with cameras, another with a light reflector, and a sound guy hauling equipment. "Hi, we're with Carter Studios," the woman said. "We're here for a location check and B-roll shoot. Jordan said this would be the final wardrobe scene." Richard's face went pale. "Wait, what?" The woman looked around, checking the space. "She's the executive producer and host of The Takeover. We're shooting the pilot episode this week. It's already been cleared with corporate." Jordan walked back toward the front, calm as ever. Richard stared at her. It took him a second to place the name. Jordan Carter, host of that viral docu-series that just signed with a major streaming platform. Millions of followers, media darling, fashion icon, and he had just treated her like a shoplifter. He opened his mouth, stammering. I had no idea. I thought—" She cut him off gently. "It's always interesting to see how people treat you when they think you're a nobody." He swallowed hard. "I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. I didn't know who you were." "That's the point," she said, locking eyes with him. You don't need to know who someone is to treat them with respect. The rest of the crew was already setting up shots. Lights, cables, wardrobe assistants reviewing the racks. But Jordan stood still, watching Richard. Calm. In control. Because the moment he underestimated her was the moment he lost everything. If you're enjoying this story, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you never miss any of our exclusive new stories. Richard was frozen. For the first time in a long time, he had no words. All this time, he thought she was just another customer, someone he could ignore, dismiss, judge. But now she stood in the middle of his store, the center of attention, as a crew of professionals moved with practiced ease around her, setting up lights, positioning cameras, preparing her wardrobe choices for the shoot. He scrambled to recover. "Miss Carter," he said, almost choking on the formality. "Please let me get you some water, coffee, anything. I'd be honored if you'd consider featuring us." Jordan turned slowly toward him, her expression unreadable. "You know, it's funny," she said. 10 minutes ago you didn't want me in here." "That was a misunderstanding," he rushed to say. "Honestly, I didn't know." "You didn't need to know," she replied, voice steady. "You just needed to be decent." Richard looked down. She was right, and he knew it. Across the room, the production assistant approached her. "Jordan, we're all set. Lighting's better next door, actually. They've got more space, and they offered to close off the store for us." Jordan raised an eyebrow. "Which store?" "The one across the street, Valente. Their manager said they've been fans of yours since your second documentary. They offered champagne." Jordan laughed, but it wasn't a warm laugh. It was the kind of laugh that holds truth. She looked back at Richard. "You see, that's the difference. Some people treat others with kindness whether or not there's a camera in the room." He nodded slowly, ashamed. "I understand. Truly. I messed up." She didn't reply immediately. She took one last look around the store, sleek, elegant, sterile, a place built for beauty but lacking soul. Then she said, "We're filming across the street." The crew began unplugging cords, folding stands, packing up quickly but calmly. Jordan thanked them one by one, the way she always did. No arrogance, no entitlement, just respect. As she stepped out of the store, Richard followed behind, unsure what to say, trying to salvage something, anything. "Jordan, please," he said, "if there's anything I can do to make this right." She stopped him at the door. "There is," she said. "Start seeing people for who they are, not for what they wear, and stop assuming someone's worth based on the color of their skin." She didn't say it with anger. She didn't need to. The weight of her words said everything. Then she walked away, graceful, composed, not victorious, but free, because people like Jordan don't need revenge. They lead with dignity, and the world notices. The next day, the takeover posted a teaser from the new location. The other store glowed on camera, bright, welcoming, alive. Within hours, the post went viral. Comments poured in praising the store's hospitality, Jordan's grace, and the importance of treating every customer with humanity. But the boutique where Richard worked, that became a story too. A customer who witnessed the interaction had recorded part of it on her phone and posted it with the caption, "This is what racism in luxury retail looks like." It spread fast. Fashion blogs picked it up. So did news outlets. People began tagging the boutique's parent company, demanding accountability. Within a week, Richard was no longer listed as manager on the store's website. A formal apology was issued. But the damage had already been done. And Jordan? She never mentioned the store by name. She didn't need to. She moved forward, focused on her work, her message, her mission. Because she wasn't just a host. She was a voice, a movement, a reminder that grace is louder than hate, and class isn't defined by clothes, but by how you treat people when no one is watching. In the end, Richard learned a lesson the hard way. Respect isn't something you offer after you find out someone's important. It's something you give freely, because it's the right thing to do. And in a world where appearances can deceive, Those who lead with empathy will always come out ahead.